Dedicated, determined, dependable. This is News 10 ABC in the morning.
The House has adjourned until after the 4th of July, but that doesn't mean the chamber is empty. Hear what a local lawmaker has to say about the changes they want on Capitol Hill.
Bobcat attack, a local community now raising questions about their own safety.
And deadly church attack, the family member headed to court today. Who will be testifying against her?
We're going to have much more on all those stories coming up for you in just a moment, but we start with that breaking news we told you about out of Washington. Right now, Democrats protesting GOP inaction on gun control. We know Congressman Paul Tonko is there right now. We talk with them.
The protest actually started yesterday and continues this morning. We'll get to News 10 ABC's Trishna Begum in just a minute, but first we'll get a check of our forecast. Nick?
Well, thanks, guys. Let me show you what's happening outside real quick. It is a nice start to your Thursday. Let me show you that sunrise, clear skies. But here's the thing. If you're looking south of Albany, you'd see a bit more cloud cover. Here's a look. Clear skies to the north, but more clouds as you head farther south. And there's a good reason for that. There's a storm system just south of Pennsylvania. Now, it is expected to create some more severe weather for portions of the southern East Coast, but for us, our forecast actually looks better today than it was looking like yesterday. For most of us, we'll stay dry. 51 degrees in Albany. It is also looking a little bit warmer, but not humid. The temperatures come up, the humidities don't, though, and that means it should be a nice day to be outdoors. For the kids who do still have a few days of school left, 40s and 50s this morning gives way to 70s, getting close to 80 degrees this afternoon. Today won't be as breezy as yesterday. Just a nice day to be outdoors. Coming up, I've got some much warmer weather that is just around the corner. I'll show you when that's going to happen in just a few minutes. Christina, Nicole.
All right, thank you so much, Nick. We want to get now back to Trishna with regard to the big protest that's happening on the House floor about inaction from the GOP on gun control. That's their whole point with this.
That's right. They actually started this yesterday. It's continued right now. Trishna just spoke with Representative Paul Tonko, who is on the House floor. Trishna, what does he have to say?
Nicole, Christina, Paul Tonko has been camped out overnight with about 30 other Democrats on the House floor all night long. They've been tweeting pictures of pizza delivery, pillows, boxes of donuts to help them get through this protest. GOP leaders actually cut off House cameras as the sit-in started. Democrats now using social media to get their message out. Here's a live look through Periscope of what is happening right this second. Speakers have been talking about gun violence victims and why they need to act on gun control. The House, as Nicole had mentioned earlier, finally adjourned Thursday morning around 3:19 this morning with no votes on gun control. Democratic members like Paul Tonko chanting no bill, no break through the whole thing. They plan on staying on the House floor until they get a vote on these proposals to strengthen background checks. Another thing they want is block individuals on terror watch lists and no-fly list from ever buying a gun. One of those members, again, as we've been mentioning, Paul Tonko, he's been there overnight, says he does not plan on leaving until something is done. Here's what he had to tell me just a short while ago.
Republicans adjourned and ran out in the dark of night and have called it quits. But we're going to continue to message so that the public, we're encouraging people to contact their given representatives.
And again, they are using social media. They're on Twitter, on Periscope to get that message across. I've been in touch with Paul Tonko since 4 a.m. this morning. As soon as I get any developments, I will bring them to you. Back to you guys.
Krishna, thanks so much. Well, breaking overnight, a Delta flight headed from San Antonio, Texas to Los Angeles, California had to be diverted to an airport in Tucson, Arizona after a passenger threatened the flight crew. Tucson Airport Authority officials say federal investigators arrested a man. The suspect took him off the plane. All 80 passengers taken off that plane as well, screened before continuing on to L.A.
New this morning, a series of fights breaking out overnight in Troy, the first at the Beer Garden on King Street. Now, this started shortly after the Rockin' on the River concert series, which is held at the Riverfront Park, just a 4-minute walk from the bar. Police tell us they don't believe the two are connected, but it is under investigation. Another fight breaking out near the Ruck in Troy, which is just down the road from Riverfront Park. Bouncers at the bar tell us one person was taken from the scene in handcuffs, but let go after talking to police. So far, there are no reports of any serious injuries from either fight.
Right now, police in Rotterdam searching for 2 people possibly connected to a string of car vandalism incidents.
Yeah, this all unfolding within the last 2 days. News 10 ABC Samantha Damasio live in Rotterdam this morning. Sam, what can you tell us?
Well, we've moved over to Palma Avenue. We've already been over on Trinity and Paul Avenue. It's all relatively in the same neighborhood here, but it didn't take us long to find damage. We found one on every street in those reports. Right here you can see this truck, a scratch all along the side of it here. And there was 20 reports, police say, of slashed tires and scratched paint, most of them coming in Tuesday overnight into Wednesday. Take a look at the map, though, of all of the streets that have been affected. Again, Trinity Avenue, Paul Avenue, Palma Avenue, Bernard Street, Broadway, North Westcott Road, Granville Avenue, Palma Ave. These streets are all, again, in the neighborhood. Police say surveillance video shows 2 teens walking through this neighborhood early Wednesday morning around 2:30 a.m. They'll be reviewing that video, gathering more surveillance video. But as always, if you have any information, give Rotterdam Police a call. If you look over here, again, we're on Palma Avenue. This is another car with a scrape right down the side. When we were over on Trinity, we also found a flat tire. Now, there were reports of 60 vandalized cars over in Schenectady earlier this month. I've reached out to police over there to find out if they believe that these 2 incidents are related. But for now, we are live in Rotterdam. Samantha Damasio, News 10 ABC.
Sam, thank you. New this morning, Vermont's 911 emergency phone system back up and running after it was unable to receive calls for a 15-minute period. The executive director of the Vermont Enhanced 911 Board says the problem happened between 4:25 and 4:50 yesterday afternoon. It's not clear if any calls were actually missed. The board is working with the system provider to figure that out. But as of this morning, everything with the system is back up and running.
Today, a woman involved in a deadly church beating will be in court. Sarah Ferguson was one of 9 people charged in the Word of Life attack in central New York that killed 19-year-old Lucas Leonard and put his 17-year-old brother in the hospital last October. Her stepfather, Bruce Leonard, expected to testify against her after pleading guilty to the assault yesterday. Well, this morning, concerns are growing after 2 people were attacked by a bobcat of all things.
This is so scary. Yeah. Those people, they're expected to be okay, but now the community wants to know what's next.
News 10 ABC's Jimmy Marlowe live in New Scotland, where it all happened. Jimmy, tell us what you're hearing from the DEC.
Good morning, everyone. The Department of Environmental Conservation is now investigating after a bobcat attacked 2 people here on High Rock Road in the town of New Scotland. Now, the DEC and members of the Albany County Sheriff's Office responded to a home here on High Rock Avenue around 4 p.m. Sheriff Craig Apple says that a couple came to a residence here to borrow furniture for their garage sale. Now, the wife was playing with the family when she says she heard growling and hissing. Just seconds later, she was bitten and was left with 4 bites. Her husband jumped in and tried to help, and he was bitten also. Now, that's when a homeowner pinned that bobcat down with a chair and then shot and killed it. Neighbors and officials said that it is common to find bobcats and other wildlife in the town of New Scotland, but it's rare for them to attack people. So now some neighbors are concerned for their safety just by stepping out their front door.
We have 2 young grandchildren, and I won't just say now, Michaela, walk out to the swing set. I'll meet you out there in a few minutes. I'm going to want to go with her because a bobcat's a serious predator to a young child.
Now, the DEC says that they are looking into why that bobcat attacked those people because, once again, wildlife is seen fairly rarely in the town of New Scotland. So they're going to, they have taken the carcass and are actually testing it to see if it may have rabies. Sheriff Craig Apple says that the 2 individuals that were bitten should be okay, but they will also be tested for rabies and any other diseases as well. We are live in New Scotland. For News 10, I'm Jimmy Marlowe. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Jamie. New fallout after one of the 3 people involved with the CDTA bus incident accepted a plea deal. A group who supported the defendants now explaining their absence during this week's court hearing. Many community leaders say they respect Alexis Briggs for admitting she was wrong and standing on her own, but noticeably absent from the hearing, activists from the local Black Lives Matter chapters. Members tell News 10 ABC they don't have enough people to make it to every court appearance. Some community leaders felt they should have been there, though, to stand for justice on the other side, not just the negative.
We have to take the time to view all facts before we attach ourselves to something, because you don't want to diminish their value either, because there are areas where they really are needed.
Aisha Burwell and Ariel Agudio have rejected plea deals. Their cases will go to trial scheduled to begin in September.
Friends of a local man killed in a gruesome hit and run, where police say the driver took off with the victim still through her windshield. Want to know why that driver isn't facing tougher charges? They've started their own grassroots effort to demand justice on this. Patrick Duff died as he walked along Route 9 early December 6th. In the impact, Duff became impaled in the windshield of Maria Lentini's car. And she's accused of leaving the scene with Duff's body still in the car. Lentini was charged with leaving the scene of an accident, reckless endangerment, and refusing a breathalyzer test.
It was very heavy. It was heavy for a lot of people, and I think that's the biggest thing that bothers people now, is that there's no closure for his parents.
Many now want to know why the charges were not stronger.
Happening today, Warren Tire Service will hold their 26th annual blood drive. Today's blood drive at the Queensberry Hotel in Glens Falls is in memory of former general manager John Payne, who died suddenly in 2009. The blood drive starts at 11:30 this morning, goes until 6 o'clock tonight. If you'd like to donate, you can make an appointment by using the Red Cross Blood Donor app, give them a call, or register through the website.
All right, coming up on News 10 ABC in the morning.
You're going to have your skeptics, you're going to have negative people.
6 months ago, this woman had a southern accent. Coming up, how it turned into a British accent. We've heard this happening before.
And it's 6:13 right now. And look at this beautiful shot this morning. Northway at Exit 9 in Clifton Park. We're back in a moment with your forecast. Wake up at 10.
You're watching News 10 ABC. Dedicated, determined, dependable.